my name is Jason from GameRave.com, and this is Pause Mode. So we turned to the Neo-Geo CD for this round of classic gaming, and with that we tackle one of the game system's exclusive releases, Zintrick. With the full name of Oshidashi Zintrick, or translated, Extrusion Zintrick, it's a puzzle game that tackles concepts from other puzzle games and smashes them into one of the most bizarre yet horribly adorable games releases ever seen on compact disc. Let's start with the basics. As mentioned, it's a puzzle game. Some of the pairs it borrows from include Columns, Puyo Puyo, Tetris to a small degree, and others. Your pieces are pairs of multicolored slimes, which you can spin and then toss onto the playing field. For the slimes to be removed, you must match the typical 3 of a kind, vertically, horizontally, or L-shaped. Besides keeping yourself alive, chaining together multiple cancellations, or extrusions as the game implies, also cause you to send slimes over to your other opponent. Here's where Zintrick takes a rather interesting approach to causing havoc for the other player. Rather than the game ending when one of the rows overflows into their movement field, that particular row is instead cut off, lovingly represented by a construction horse. With the horse in place, you can't move past that point, reducing your available attack vectors. As you whittle down pieces, you can remove the obstructions. As unfair as it may sound at first, it adds an amazing subtle amount of extra strategy to the game. More to the point, surviving the obstacles or even winning while stuck on one of them provides a much greater sense of accomplishment than other games. From a personality angle, you choose from one of 8 characters ranked on their difficulty and power-ups used in-game. The power-ups act as bonus actions, much like the diamonds in Super Puzzle Fighter, but these change by character. For example, Shira's ability allows for the removal of all the same color slime, like in Puzzle Fighter. However, Pyuki's allows for the removal of an entire column of slimes, and so on. Your end boss is Roki, or as I'm assuming it should be, Loki the god. Defeating Loki gives you an ending for each character, and they're fairly oddball and levelingly mistranslated. If the standard 8 characters aren't enough, you can actually unlock the other 4 via controller inputs at the character select screen. As mentioned earlier, Zintrick is one of the 8 exclusive Neo-Geo CD titles, which sounds really badass and cool until you realize the problems. Because this was designed as a Japanese exclusive, the game sports not just the randomly and very poorly written English, there are several minor texts left in its native Japanese. The game is 100% playable, including the option screen and endings, but you'll miss a few things said during gameplay since they are untranslated. The other problem is the perceived rarity of it, since you can't track it down on the usually cheaper MVS or comically overpriced AES. There's always at least 2 copies of Zintrick available on eBay, but the price at which sellers are gunning for fluctuate on a monthly basis. I've seen copies go for as low as $70, but then others command up to $150. A sealed copy recently just sold for $250, and from the sound of my voice and look on my face, you can clearly tell that's not kosher. Look, I really enjoyed my time at Zintrick, but there's no way it's worth $150 or more. Hell, $100 is pushing it, and for that price it better have the spine card and be minty mint condition. Unless you're going for a full set or looking for the exclusives, there's no real need to spend that kind of money on this type of game, when you can play the same type of game cheaper elsewhere. Alright guys, that wraps up this week's Pause Mode. There's only 2 weeks left in the year. Time is freaking flying. We'll see you next week on Game Rave TV. Be safe, stay warm, game on. Take care.